Karen's scream sliced through the flower shop like a shard of glass. "You call this art? It's a disgrace," she spat, slamming a bouquet of lilies and roses onto the counter, petals scattering like confetti at a funeral. The florist, Clara, a woman whose hands had woven beauty from chaos for decades, froze mid-snip, her shears hovering over a bundle of daisies. The air in bloom and blossom, a quaint shop tucked in a sleepy corner of Maplewood, thickened with a tension that could choke a room. Karen's designer heels clicked ominously as she leaned forward, her manicured nails stabbing the air. "I paid for perfection, not this mockery." Clara's shop was a sanctuary, a place where locals came to mend broken hearts with peonies or celebrate love with orchids. For 25 years, she'd poured her soul into every arrangement, her hands steady even when her heart wasn't. But Karen wasn't a local. She'd stormed in 3 weeks ago, demanding a custom bouquet for her daughter's engagement party, a lavish affair meant to dazzle her social circle. Her request was specific: a towering arrangement of white roses, lilies, and baby's breath, accented with gold-dipped leaves and a woven ribbon bearing her family's initials. Clara had nodded, jotting notes, sensing the woman's need for control. But the final detail, the ribbon's design, had sparked the first flicker of unease. Karen wanted a phrase embroidered, "Purity in love." Clara, ever professional, agreed, though something in Karen's tone, sharp and unyielding, lingered like a bad omen. The trouble began when Clara presented the initial sketch. Karen had scrutinized it with the intensity of a hawk, her lips curling as she pointed to the ribbon. "Make the font bolder. And the lilies too small. They need to scream elegance." Clara complied, reworking the design late into the night, her teenage apprentice, Mia, yawning beside her. Mia, a shy 16-year-old who'd found solace in the shop after a rough home life, watched Clara's patience with awe. "Why do you let her talk to you like that?" Mia whispered once. Clara only smiled. "Some people carry storms inside them. You just weather it." But Karen's storm was growing, and Clara's calm was starting to crack. By the third revision, Karen's demands had escalated. She'd emailed at 2 a.m., insisting the bouquet include rare orchids flown in from Thailand by next day. When Clara explained the impossibility, Karen called her incompetent, in a voicemail so venomous Mia flinched hearing it. Then came the ribbon's final design. Karen had sent a new phrase, "Purity above all." Clara paused when she saw it, her gut twisting. The phrase felt loaded, less about love and more about something rigid, judgmental. She called Karen to clarify. "It's for my daughter's future," Karen snapped. "It's a statement. Don't question it." Clara, against her better judgment, ordered the ribbon, hoping the project's end would bring peace. The delivery day arrived, and with it Karen's fury. She'd stormed into the shop an hour before the party, her eyes blazing as she inspected the bouquet. The roses were pristine, the lilies radiant, the gold-dipped leaves gleaming under the shop's warm lights. But Karen's gaze locked on the ribbon. "What is this?" she hissed, ripping it from the arrangement. The phrase "purity above all" was embroidered in elegant script, exactly as she'd demanded. "You made it look cheap. And these flowers, they're not even fresh." Clara, stunned, pointed out the blooms were sourced that morning. Karen's voice rose, drawing stares from customers. "You're sabotaging me. You're jealous of my daughter's perfect day." Mia, arranging tulips in the corner, shrank back, her hands trembling. Clara stepped forward, her voice steady but firm. "Ma'am, I followed your instructions to the letter. If you're unhappy, we can discuss a refund." Karen laughed, a sharp, bitter sound. "A refund? I want an apology. You've ruined everything." She flung the bouquet onto the floor, crushing petals under her heel. The shop fell silent, save for the faint hum of the refrigerator case. Customers exchanged glances, some slipping out the door, others lingering like vultures sensing blood. Clara's heart pounded, but she held her ground. "I'm sorry you feel this way, but I won't be spoken to like this in my own shop." Karen's face twisted, her voice dropping to a dangerous whisper. "You think you're better than me? I know your type, small town, self-righteous, pretending to be kind while you judge everyone." She leaned closer, her words venomous. "I looked you up, Clara. Divorced, barely scraping by, raising that pathetic kid over there like she's yours. You're nothing." Mia gasped, "Tiar Zwelling." Clara's hands clenched, her shears glinting in the light. For a moment, the room felt like it might combust. Then Karen's eyes caught something else, the ribbon, still clutched in her hand. She froze, her expression shifting from rage to something colder, calculated. "This ribbon, it's not just about the party," she said, almost to herself. "It's a message, and you've tainted it." Clara frowned, confused. "What message?" Karen's lips curled into a sneer. "You wouldn't understand. You're not one of us." The truth unraveled later, after Karen's outburst drew a crowd outside. A customer, scrolling on her phone, whispered to another, "I saw her post about it on X." Clara, cleaning up the wreckage of petals, overheard and asked Mia to check. Mia's face paled as she read aloud a post from Karen's account. "Purity above Almi daughter's engagement will honor our values. No woke nonsense. No compromises." Attached was a photo of the bouquet sketch, with comments praising Karen's stand against liberal agendas. Clara's stomach churned. The ribbon wasn't about Lovey, it was a dog whistle. A coded message tied to a divisive ideology Clara hadn't seen coming. The confrontation peaked when Karen, now surrounded by onlookers, demanded Clara remake the bouquet on the spot. "You owe me," she screamed, jabbing a finger. Clara, her voice shaking with rare anger, refused. "I don't serve hate in my shop. You're banned." Karen's jaw dropped, her face reddening as the crowd murmured. She stormed out, vowing to ruin Clara online. The door slammed, leaving silence and scattered petals in her wake. The fallout was brutal. Karen's ex-posts exploded, painting Clara as a bigoted florist who'd sabotaged a wholesome order. Trolls flooded the shop's reviews, tanking its rating. Clara, already struggling financially, watched bookings vanish. Mia, devastated, blamed herself for not speaking up. But Clara, wiping tears from Mia's cheeks, whispered, "We don't bow to bullies." They kept the shop open, defiant, even as bills piled up. Locals rallied, leaving 5-star reviews and buying bouquets in droves. But the damage was done. Clara's savings dwindled, and the shop's future hung by a thread. Months later, a letter arrived. It was from Karen's daughter, Emily, the bride-to-be. She apologized, her words heavy with shame. "My mother's views aren't mine," she wrote. "I wanted a simple wedding, but she turned it into a war. I'm sorry you got caught in it." Enclosed was a photo of Emily's wedding, small, quiet, with a modest bouquet from another florist. Clara smiled, bittersweet, and pinned it to the shop's wall. But the victory felt hollow. The shop closed that winter, unable to recover. Clara and Mia moved to a new town, starting over, their bond stronger but their hearts scarred. Karen's moment of triumph had cost her daughter's trust and Clara's livelihood. The ribbon's message, meant to divide, had instead unraveled her world. Clara's final act was to leave the wooden signboard outside the empty shop, its chalk faded but defiant. "Custom blooms, crafted with love." It stood as a quiet rebuke to Karen's hate, a reminder that beauty, like truth, endures even in ruin. What do you think? Did Clara do the right thing by standing her ground? Or should she have compromised to save her shop? Share your thoughts on where justice lies in this clash of values.